Good afternoon, my name is Byron Williams. I'm the Chief Administrative Officer here at the Oregon State Treasury and oversee a lot of our analytics in our administrative services area. And I want to talk for a moment about how we utilize Tableau and Wiiisdom to keep our data sources and dashboards validated. So you're seeing that. Thank you for coming today. So a little bit about the Oregon State Treasury. We serve basically as a state's banker. So last year processed 18.4 million transactions, just over $400 billion, issued at almost $2 billion in debt, oversee $140 billion in assets under management as the state's investment officer. We also oversee the Treasury Savings Network, which handles 529 plans and retirement savings accounts, just under $6 billion there. And then the Trust Property Service is about $1 billion of money owed to Oregonians who we're trying to reunite them with. So a wide variety of activities that we have to cover and do. One program I want to talk about just for a minute here, because we'll come back to it a little bit later, is our estates administration program. So some brief background. In Oregon, if somebody passes away without an heir, we get the phone call to come in and take over their estate. Well, we don't know what we're walking into. That could be safe deposit boxes, financial instruments, jewelry, abandoned cars, to cattle. They really love the cattle. So this was an actual story about 2 days before Christmas last year. The team got a call, said, hey, we found out this rancher died, 40 head of cattle just broke through a fence. We need you to come take over the property. And that team has a really unique role of trying to manage those estates and work them through probate. And for them, that data quality is vital because they're making day-to-day decisions for those individual estates, about 120 at any given point in time. But they also have to submit those financial statements to the court system. Nobody wants to submit a wrong filing to the court. And so they're looking to us to make sure that their data is accurate every single time they submit to the courts every quarter. So talk a little bit about our data environment. As a state agency, we get a lot of data systems that are managed by other government agencies. We don't control the system, we don't control the data model. We just get to live with it. A lot of these systems are very old. I don't know how many of you had the opportunity to work in a terminal emulator, but our main accounting system, our accountants in there typing into the green screen every day, each transaction, typing it into the mainframe that we're then trying to pull back out and do the data validation on. Data validation off a mainframe system was a unique challenge for us that Wiiisdom's really helped us to be able to get our arms around. And so for me, it's really about modern solutions for today's challenges, and that Wiiisdom has helped us to overcome a lot of those challenges in a way that we feel confident in, but is also visible to our customers so that they know the data sources and those dashboards are accurate when they're using on them, and it's not person dependent. So for a lot of years, we would rely on one person to reconcile system to system and make sure they let everybody know if there's a problem. Well, that's great until that one person's out on the Monday when that reconciliation needs done, and all of a sudden somebody's doing a court filing and doesn't know their data's not up to date. So with Wiiisdom, what we've been able to do is to set out functional testing. So each data source and dashboard we can go through before it becomes a certified copy and build out what are those rules that we want to have in place. How it looks, how it functions, what the data requirements are. And so we just build out in here. So in this one, we got a lot of data rules to it, looking at what are our requirements to say something's certified. And that gets down to a very granular level. So we can go in and go down at the code level and put down at the field. So for example, this one here, our supervisory organization should not be null. If that's null, it means one of our data entry people forgot to type that in, and because we can't control the data model, we can't make that a required field. But for data quality, I need it to be a required field. So now every time that Wiiisdom runs that quality check for us, it can flag every time that was null, and we need to go back to the entry staff and say, hey, this didn't get entered, can you go back in and update that data for us? And so what does that look like to the end users? This is on one of our data validation dashboards, but as soon as that run happens, it's gonna pop up the certified mark for us, if everything passes. If that run goes, and it fails one test that is required, it immediately puts up a decertified notification for us. That way our end users know I don't know what I did. Sorry, Tony. There we go. So if they're relying on a dashboard, they're not waiting for me to call them to tell them there's a data quality problem. They're getting it notified in real time right where they're working. They know who the owner is from the dashboard, and they can call us up and say, hey, I see that it's decertified. What's going on? When can we expect it to be cleaned up and ready to go? That way, we're not making a whole bunch of phone calls out, or they're not expecting, well, you didn't call me, so therefore it's fine. It's clear, it's transparent, it's upfront with everybody. And it's really helped us to build transparency with those customers. They know it's there, they know it's happening, they know what to expect from us, and that we'll tell them when there's a problem. And so for things like those legal filings, really becomes critical to help them feel confident and for us to get the lawyers on board, that the lawyers could trust it. Because they just ask the question, was it certified? Yes, cool. Then we know we're good to go because we've reviewed everything up to that point. I want to finish up with one of the dashboards that I had some fun creating. This was from a campaign that our Unclaimed Property program released a few years back. Looking at people that had money owed to them, that we could validate their address, social security number, and name. We actually just mailed the check out to them. So we sent out over $10 million in checks to people that had lived or at some point in Oregon. Checks went all over the country, and people just got checks in the mail, anywhere from $50 up to $10,000. Note for the day, this will be the only session they'll pay you money. If you live in Oregon, go to unclaimedoregon.gov. Otherwise, go to missingmoney.com. Type in your name, your city, and your state. It'll tell you what's owed to you. It's estimated about 40 people in the US have money that's owed to them. I went in last week and found another $40 check that was owed to me. So when I get back from conference, I got a $40 check waiting for me. So encourage you, check it out, because you never know, you might have $50, might have $100. Last week we paid $250,000 out to somebody that had some money sitting there they didn't know about. So anyway, so for us, again, it's that data quality piece and the data assurance really does come critical when we're dealing with that large of dollar values. So, all right, thank you.